Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Season 31 Prem Qualifiers, brought to you by teamfortress.tv. I'm not alone, I'm joined by two wonderful gentlemen. One you all know and love, and that's Beta on production. And another one a lot of you should love. I have DuMmTm as my co-caster. How you doing, DuMmTm?
Pretty good. Should be fun little games here. Sounds or looks like a really stacked qualifier season, much like the rest of the season itself, with the teams already in Prem. And everybody wants to have a part in that, it seems.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting Prem season. We've got some amazing teams, but let's not go into the teams that aren't currently playing right now, and let's actually have a chat about the two teams. So we've got, I can never pronounce it correctly, so I'm just going to call them the Germans versus Foreskings. Foreskings?
Yes, as a German, I'm also just going to call them for the ease of it. I would pronounce it, but it's just too long.
Yeah. We called it during, was it season 29? We called them the Germans. So we're going to stick that, even though they're not completely German, especially in this lineup.
Slight changes here. We have Unable and normally Shocky on Scout. Marking today is Chris from Roma fame on Swift, for example. Marking Scout, he's a decent one. Honey met Warrior on DuMmTm, Fishcup clip like last season or 2 seasons ago on the Soldiers, and game is going live, so just quickly going over Foreskings. We know them from Div 1. Have been in Prem before with different lineups. Delton or Blockmeister with Shukipel on Scout. Snow Merking on DuMmTm for Worse. Or not for Worse. Worse is actually playing Medic, I'm completely wrong there. And Lancer and Jack-X on the Soldiers.
Okay, and we're getting off on this first mid, and Warrior's very far forward. Jackie Legs actually goes and gets the pick onto Warrior. Nice start to this round. Looking like the Foreskings are in a good position. Clip actually goes for the play, gets onto Verse. Clip going down as a response, and it's very scrappy from both teams. Lots of players actually fragging down. Chris cleaning up Jackie as he makes a play onto Honey. Honey staying alive. They're just trying to deal with Snow, who's a little too far in. Blockmeister actually trying to save his demo, but not able to, and that is the first mid going to the Germans, but not too convincing.
Yeah, like you mentioned, really scrappy at times, and it really came down to just single player and like recognizing what is an easy kill. Warrior died really early on Jackie Legs with a beautiful kill there, straight off the bat, but the moment just the opportunity arose, the Scout went weak, wanted to get the pack on Saw. Soldier jumped in, Clip, cleaned up the medic, and eventually those heals just became the win condition. They just protected Honey, kept themselves alive, and it doesn't go quite as well as they wanted here to keep it with a nice snipe onto Unable.
Yep, and Warrior very far forward with Honey. They're looking to make a play into lower. There is a trap there that they have called out and dealt with, so we're going to see a bit of pressure coming out of the Germans in this lower area. As they are stacking up, they're looking for the opportunity right now. Just the moment to go in. They know they've got that ad, but it's dwindling, so they need to go in. And they find the sentry gun. The sentry gun's taken a lot of damage, but they haven't used it as an entry. War actually goes in, gets completely skyboxed, saved by Honey. They get that sentry gun down, and everything's looking really good for the Germans. They're in, but they haven't got any picks. Only that sentry. As I say that, it's just not in a good position for them. And Clip underneath gets picked up, and the Israelis, Foreskins, actually survive pretty well. Fishkov making a play onto Verse, gets the force. That's really, really good. Nice, clean force from Fishkov. He actually gets cleaned up in the end. And Foreskins making the play across. Lanza getting picked up. I'm not sure how to say that scout's name. Sculpey. Pushes across, and Snow gets unable. So that's a really good pick there. Just more players going down for Foreskins, though, as the Germans just start barreling across. They were just in such a good position, that there was very little that Foreskins could actually do against the Germans there.
Yeah, the push into second tier from last can be really tough, and this Uber Force by Fishkov brought the Germans so much time. Fishkov playing a little bit with fire there, trying to clean the sticks, gets in now, strikes everybody, whole team rotates right and doesn't have the eyes on the Ubers. It comes in onto the left side, want to deal as much damage as they can, struggle a little bit to find kills, but in the end they find Burst. That's the minimum you want, as they still drop to Unable playing the point, gets cleaned up really early, and despite the best efforts, it's not much more, but Burst and Lance are falling.
Honey is in a bad position, and War goes down. That's a full wipe for the Germans, That's not something that the Germans would have wanted. They started off so well, getting that Verse pick, and just, making it into a good position for them. But now the Israelis, Foreskin, are in a good position to beat the Germans out and make a play onto mid right now.
Yeah, let's see if they can manage that. So far, really scrappy at times the game here. We couldn't really talk about it pre-game too much, but it's been like a busy preseason for a lot of teams. But from what I've seen, not too much for them. They've both taken it pretty lightly light until now. So they've been lacking a little bit of practice here. And for the Germans, like on these last pushes right now, it just shows quite a bit that the coordination is not quite there. And the holds from the Israeli team just puts a stop to them now twice in a row already.
Yeah, and it's just right now we've got a classic mid to second hold. It's all about getting those pick plays and making that opportunity to go in, really. So how do you think either team are going to break this stalemate right now? Uber's our own advantage for the Germans plus War and Honey.
Yeah, it's tough. You need a decent advantage here, and if you have it, you need to act quickly. Otherwise, you just don't cover enough ground when you try to go forward. So they need to start moving soon, and they are looking at the opportunity here, but they just don't have good entry. They're getting spammed so heavily, and so just don't find the entry they want. And at this point, the U advantage is completely gone. And the best they have is either sacking players or going for an exchange, hoping to catch Burst, who's really far back with his hold.
Yeah, Jackie Legs actually went for a play and lower, wasn't able to do something. Now Lanza spamming from window, not able to really connect anything right now. And it's all down to just getting that opportunity for that player to come in. And both teams trying to create. We've seen Fishcorp many a times in season 2029 actually get into a good position and get the clean force, or at least get a drop onto the med. So hopefully that's what they're trying to play with the Germans. But War gets spammed out. Cliff's actually going for the play. He goes onto the med. He gets cleaned up instantly. Fishcorp actually coming from the other side. Oh, he nearly gets Vest. Vest holds that Uber so well. He had, what, 20 health at the end of that? Like, he could have easily dropped.
As well. And now it's just a huge opportunity for Foreskings trying to come in here. Jackie Legs a little bit ahead of himself, gets taken down before his team arrives. And Warfire wants to take the exchange here. Honey complies, pops the Uber first as well. 3v5 Uber exchange here, and the spawns for the Germans are not quite here, so they're still forced to back off at the moment.
Yeah, and right now, Chris actually getting picked up, and Blockmeister pushing them. Lanza actually going for a play onto Honey. Honey tries to surf. He's so low, he's going to get cleaned up there, and he goes down. Lanza getting cleaned up by Clip. Fishcorp actually trying to make a play on the other side of the map, trying to get onto Verse. Verse is protected really nicely by his team, and we're going to see a far right push coming out of Foreskings, as they have got the numbers to go forwards, but no real, like, maybe I thought Clip was going to bomb in, but no sort of real contest, and it's going to be a nice easy second for Foreskings, and they're going to set themselves up to maybe see if they can go in right or lower. It seems like they're just setting up in lobby right now.
Yeah, that was all of the back of Lancer's smart flank play there. He knew the spawns weren't coming up yet. Really cocky play by the Germans to try to stay in there with the exchange of really bad numbers, and Lancer with a really smart wraparound from behind gets the medic, gets them all the way here. And now with a great opportunity to push into last, they have set up to deal with sentry, heavy, and sniper can all be issues.
Yeah, and the Uber actually comes in on the right-hand side. They don't manage to get anything, and they lose Snow to Chris. They get the sentry gun down, but Jackie Legs goes down as well. Burst is in a bad position. Fishcorp cleaning him up. Lanza trying to get just something. He gets cleaned up as well. Only one player, no players left for Foreskings. Nice defense from the Germans, as we like to call them. But they did lose Honey in that exchange, so there's going to be a little tiny bit of disad, but really it's just equal at this point.
Yeah, but more importantly than that, it's really tough looking to actually get safely to second. They capped up, but the spawns for Israelis are a little bit better. Not everybody on the Germans already here, as Foreskings all collectively come to the point. Jackie Legs stays so early though, they all want Warfare here, leaving Snow completely alone with his medic. Fishcorp wants the damage in as well on that. Doesn't quite find any kills. The Lancer jumps in onto Honey, doesn't get that, only Chris, and sooner or later Foreskings has to retreat here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they've done. And we're seeing a bit of aggression coming out of the Germans. They're looking forward to go into mid. They haven't got Uber, but neither team have. Fishcorp going in really deep onto Verse. Verse is so low. He's on 6 health right now. Fishcorp is super low as well. They're not able to do anything. Snow taking a lot of damage. But Fishcorp not being cleaned up in any way. Rotating, just being a huge problem, even though Unable actually goes down. But that's the only frag of that whole situation. They need to be aware that Fishcorp is in a position to cause some damage. Chris getting bullied out right now. Clip, double, nice sync onto Lanza. Actually cleans him up. And this may be an opportunity, it is, for the Germans to go in. Warrior just pushing people off that point, using that Uber. Blockmeister trying to just make them spread. They do, and they get War as an advantage for that. that demo pick is so important, because now we're going to see them, like you'll probably agree with me, use that as an opportunity to go in, be aggressive onto Honey, and
but
they
Soldiers
lose
get
Snow.
through, one from behind, one from front, get onto the demo and onto the medic. First, Snow both down, they're still there trying to cause them more havoc. Lose the fight to the scouts, however, but they held them up for so long, they're getting the medic as well. Honey just needs to survive, and Ibel is so weak.
I was really surprised there. It looked very good for Foreskings, but Fishkoff again just throwing a spanner in the works, and they get that verse pick, which is really, really good for them. We're gonna see Jackie maybe going on to Spy. It looks like he's left spawn.
Play, yeah.
So
that wouldn't surprise me.
He has come out, and he's gonna probably look at just getting behind, but Fishkoff trying to do some spam. Actually, Warrior overextending a bit, gets cleaned up, and Unable getting cleaned as well. Fishkoff makes a play, he's gonna go. Deadringer actually on that Spy as well. He gets the backstab onto Honey! No, this is not good for the Germans. Foreskins just pushing in from every angle. Clip trying to make something happen. There's nothing they can do. They got the players on the point, and that's going to be the first round of this map, Snakewater. We haven't even had a chance to speak about the pick bans yet, actually.
Let's probably wait until next map, because there's so much happening. This was so strange for the Germans out of last, though. They were just so impatient twice in a row. And right there, when they lost, they had the advantage as well, and still were throwing themselves at them, despite having like 70% advantage or something like that.
Yeah, and coming into this second mid, it looks like both demos are, you know, same sort of speed. We're waiting really on seeing who makes the first play. Jackie looking like he's going to bomb in. Clip and Fishkoff go for a double bomb onto Verse. Verse surfs so much, he's still alive, getting shot. He ends up going down. That's a really good play from the Germans. They've come across Lanza, super low. Scrimpy making a play onto. Doesn't happen. Try to make a play onto Honey, but War with a pipe cleans him up. And that's really, really well played from the Germans during that mid. That double bomb was so powerful, Dom.
Yeah, I was criticizing the coordination on the last a little bit, but here on mid, this was brilliant. Double bomb left and right, scouts and double from the middle, just across the point, everybody together, and nothing could survive that. Really well done.
Yeah, and right now, it looks like we've got a Sniper, NG, and a Pyro, actually, all set up on this last half.
Pretty uncommon here. But yeah, the idea is the same as on Gully Watch, which is trying to protect the sentry from spam.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, if you don't hit your mouse 2 button too much, it just doesn't work at all.
Yeah, and they've come in with an Uber on the right-hand side, Unable and Warrior. Warrior gets skyboxed once again, and Jackie Leg makes a play on the clip, tries to go for the hair shot, doesn't land it. They're baiting time onto the point. Jackie actually creates a distraction. Honey gets picked up, but Warrior finishes off that cap, and that's going to be 1-1. Really close so far for this first map of the qualifier.
Yeah, the Germans are so fortunate as well that Pyro and the Sentry just went down before the Uber, because much like last time, they struggled to actually kill anything with the Uber charge itself, and were just kind of standing around there trying to do something, and nothing happened. So eventually just awkwardly playing the point for War worked out in the end.
Yeah, and this third mid, it's been quite a quick succession of rounds right now, and War is very far forward. He's just getting some good stick placements. Jackie Legs, I think, overextended, fell over, and got cleaned up by Fishkoff in response. They get Lanza as well from above them. Clip trying to make a play on the Verse. Verse is just sandwiched between two red players. He's going to get cleaned up as well. Blockmeister trying to deal with the world, but the scouts got in, just going straight for Honey. Everyone's trying to protect him. He's 4v1. He nearly gets Honey though. But again, the Germans take another mid fight. They've been quite consistent on these mids. They've changed it up quite nicely, wouldn't you say, Dum?
Yeah, that was a really good jump by Clip as well. Just kind of wrapping around the players on the high ground so they can't back off, and aids his team in getting 2 kills. That really great jump by Clip. Helping out getting the mid fight here. Killing boss obviously is the real big deal now. Having this end into last once again, can straight go into last and try again here.
Yeah, and the ball just flew into the face of Warrior, and they're looking to go in on this left-hand side. They're going to use this Uber as late as possible. That's the general consensus of what they want to do. And Chris actually getting picked up. They haven't even popped yet. They've just popped right now. Whoa, 2 plates Verse. He's gone in. They're all trying to deal with all the players still coming in. They're not even pay attention to the point, and they just cap it out. It's the second to the Germans. That's 2-1. And yeah, it's been really nice last push, I'd say, Dum.
I don't know, it's once again just Foreskings reacting a little bit too late there to the point, while it was a solo into the War who did hit some nice fight, but only to the medic, and everybody else was completely getting destroyed. trying to come in the first place, so it's just a matter of Foreskings getting a little bit too carried away with those kills.
Yeah, I think they're a bit too focused on getting the kills and not necessarily dealing with the point. But on this fourth mid, again, it's all down to the soldiers and how they start this up. Clip making a bomb, Jackie Leg doing the return, Warrior actually getting cleaned up as well as Chris. Unable going down. That's 3 for 3 right now with Verse going down. Fourth for Germans went down. And Honey all the way back, gonna back up, whilst Fishkoff, again, trying to just clean up a player, goes for Snow, gets cleaned up by the Scout, and that's gonna be, is that the first or the second mid to Foreskings?
Entirely sure, and Lancer wants some more, he wants Honey really badly, he just hides all the way forward and lobby already. Wanting to sneak out the kill, let's see if War can spot it early enough. Ooh, War checks the corner out, really nice.
Oh, and he gets Lanza because of it. And I think that's a lot of demos, you know, don't necessarily do that all the time. They focus too much on stopping people coming out of the chokes, but right now War is just barreling forward in this lower area with his team, and they pick up 2 for their troubles. War very aggressive, very far forward. It's kind of nice to see War playing again, I'll be honest. It's nice to see that old school demo actually not just casting, but showing all these new blood, even though there's not that much, how to actually play the demo man class. And he's just barreling on Snow, helps him get cleaned up. They're pushing forward now on bridge. War just so far forward, gets the force out of Vest, and they haven't even used yet. They're going to do the return right now, but it's already faded for Foreskings. Germans coming in on this left-hand side, maybe seeing if they can get another pick, create that opportunity to go in a little bit further. Only one player ad. And Fishkoff gets absolutely skyboxed, tries to make a play, craters for his time, and German's going to have to back out them.
Yeah, I'm really sad that the Germans didn't try to play more off of this. They had such a better Uber on this exchange. Just was the question, like you mentioned, baited out the Uber really early out of Verse. And I feel like they could have done a little bit more than that, but in the end it was just Fishkoff awkwardly trying to get something alone. And that's just not good enough these days. So even Uber stalemate it will be, unless somebody decides to just go in here before anybody has.
Yeah, well, Fishkoff's in cheese right now. He's actually quite far forward, just spamming. He's got lobby pretty much covered, but Clip gets headshot. We're going to see some aggression out of Lanza as well. Gets popped around by War. But again, it's like you said, it's just about getting those picks. And right now, they're just trying to get that sniper into a good position to get a pick. Like a key pick would be War or Honey, is, you know, best case scenario. But getting a 2-player ad is good, but Jackie Legs actually gets picked up in that lower area as he overextended a bit. War helping get Blockmeister down. That's a 2-player ad. The Germans are going to want to go in off this through lower. They have got their Uber. They have used it. Ward playing point as we've seen before, sticking it off, gets flashed at the right moment by Honey. But really good pressure from Fishkoff as well. He goes down. Lanza trying to deny War, but they're not focusing the point. Like, Foreskings don't seem to be doing that at all, Dum.
Yeah, and in this case it wasn't really well played around that as well by the Germans, with like War's point bait into him, jumping away, then immediate jump in by the soldiers onto the player, onto the point, so a scout can get on it for free. Real nice stuff, and gets them into a 2-round lead now, and still 13 minutes left, so certainly a lot of opportunities for Foreskings to come back here, but they need some more convincing mids now.
Yeah, it's all about the soldiers' plays on this mid, and Lanza looking to create some space for Jackie Leg. They're maybe going in for a double bomb, but not able to do anything. A lot of spam going across, but could be anyone's game right now. Warrior going down, that's a good pick. Honey getting pressured. Chris getting cleaned up by Lanza. Fishkoff going down as well. The Germans are going to have to back out. We may see a bit of a chase from Lanza right now as he's just in second, not able to do anything. Jackie Leg's joining him, and they're just going to be able to hold forward. Stop the chance of any of the Germans setting up a hold on to second.
Well, they can't really either. While you were looking at Honey escaping, Verse wasn't quite as lucky. Got jumped by Clip just late on the mid-fight. And without heals, it's going to be tough actually staying on the second point. They need to play this really careful. Need a really good force with any opportunity to come back in with advantage afterwards.
Yeah, and they have got quite a nice advantage. I don't even think Verse has any percentage at all. He just picks it up now, but it's 100% ad for Honey and the rest of the Germans. And Chris getting pick up.
Yeah, actually causing a little bit of trouble here. Don't think he actually wanted to go for the backup necessarily as much as he wants to delay, but he needs to actually do something with Lanza behind
going
as well.
on to a play on a Honey. Oh, Honey keeps it. Goes down to 26 health. That was That was a butt-clenching moment for Honey there. If he didn't have that support from his team, he could have gone down. Good luck for him that only 2 rockets were in the chamber for Lanza at the time. But we got a scout in the back lines.
And Jackilex as well, they just completely neglecting the flanking Germans here. Just Warrior on a solo trip onto second with Honey, but...
They get the force though.
Yeah, they just were all on their own. They just completely ignored the fact that they just kept on losing players. And eventually... Foreskings getting really easy force with that, so good for them getting this force, getting back into second with Ad as well. They might as well just get mid back really easily here too, if they can just manage to have a decent Uber or not use it all.
Yeah, they could use the Uber pressure, just the fact that the Germans know they've got that Uber. But Fishkopf doesn't want to back up, getting Blockmeister very low, gets cleaned up in the end. And a little bit of pressure coming out of Foreskings as, again, Jackie Legs looks to create some space. Lanza as well, they're cycling their bombs through, and they're just going to push him out, and absolutely perfect. Didn't have to use their Uber.
Yeah, it's not a huge advantage anymore into second. There's a mild opportunity, especially with the spawn just now coming up. And Clip overextending, trying to get a force. They kind of just comply, weren't even really weak, just wanted to secure the kill and maybe some space into second. But now the Germans can just do the same, pop in return, block the point, try to catch people on the exit, and nobody's exiting here. Real nice jump by War, scouts there to clean that up. 2 people left, Light should keep it behind line, Snow all the way out to mid already.
What a re-push out of the Germans there. That was really well played from them. They had just held their lines correctly and pushed in as soon as they needed to, and they just started picking up players. Now Snow's all alone. He gets a nice pipe onto War, actually cleaning him up. And that's not a huge advantage, but it just means that they're not going to have as much pressure, and Snow is trying to apply as much as he can onto this mid. Lanza getting up on that high ground, gets cleaned up by Unable, and they're pushing forward quite aggressively. Clip denying that top area as well, and it's all about the plays. Who's going to make it? Chris is going down, Unable going down to Snow as well. Foreskins got really good pressure. They actually first picks up Clip with an arrow, and they're gonna push out the Germans all the way to second. Gonna keep that mid. We're gonna see them move forward, Dom.
See, there's a sticky trap on the train. Ooh, they just about spotted the time before was about to touch it here. Real nice fight on second as well. The scouts on the German side were just ever so slightly too aggressive, off of too little damage. And like you mentioned, the demo being down really hurt. That extra damage would have mattered a lot. So real smart decision by Foreskings to abuse this opportunity and find themselves back on second in a much safer position where they can now just keep on prodding into last until they find a good opening here.
Yep, and right now, a bit of a play onto War and Honey right, just to make that force come out. They're holding very far forward, all spamming, Clip and drop down, just spamming people out of lobby. War trying to use that pressure just to get some sticks up and just deny lobby. That's so important. Getting a trap, maybe something that Foreskins don't necessarily think of, as they are looking to rotate now. Any sort of depth right now would be really good. It's been spotted out, but War gets a pipe onto Vest. Vest is so low, the force actually comes out. Honey hasn't used his yet. They haven't even cleaned up the sentry gun as they're fighting on this left-hand side. They're staying in a bit too long, Dub, and it's really good position for the Germans, really. They just need to bomb in, you know, make those plays. They can just chill. We've got Lanza trying to go across the point, see if he can do anything, and Clip trying to deny him on top of that shed, whilst War and Fishkopf pushing on the left-hand side. They deal a lot of damage to both scouts. Oh, one scout nearly got trapped in, but nice hold. Nice concise hold from the Germans, I'd say.
Yeah, the Foreskings side here just needed to be more aggressive now. Maybe not with the entire team, but at least something needed to happen. Otherwise, this would happen every time. They could just hold back and not do anything on the German side to play safe. Somebody needed to commit, get the force out of Honey to at least have some sort of advantage for the next try, but nobody wanted to lose their lives. And in a way, you can't blame them. They don't want to lose space on second, but at some point you need to start taking risks here, and so far they're not doing that too much.
Yeah, I think they're trying to play it as safe as possible. War actually taking a lot of damage by Shudder. They're holding very far forward. Like, War's holding incredibly far forward right now for the situation.
Nice opening there by Schul. People gets a shot onto Chris he needs while Fishkopf was back getting heals. Nicely played around the sniper support there, and with that one down, they have a little bit more freedom now. No sniper to worry about. Allows them to peek in a little bit more. Maybe just what they need. Jack Nix wants to do something with that, but the Heavy, as well as everybody else, is denying him, but it doesn't matter. They just keep going forward, trading kills out one by one.
Yeah, the Heavy of Clip is denying them as they're coming in on this left-hand side. The headshot from Chris rings out. lands directly on Verse, and that just completely changes the whole situation. Germans are able to hold this. They've got that key pick. Snow's going to have to put up some traps and just try and deny, as they're going to get their respawns right now, and they're going to look to push forwards, And
once again, Jacket X by somehow found success the first time around. I'm curious to see if he can do it again, but maybe on a little bit more valuable of pick.
Oh, what a pipe from War! Gets Lanza, just clips him out of the air. And War, just so aggressive, he's over the top, he's onto Snow, he gets cleaned up though. The Scout gets Chris as well. Fishkov in that lower area, taking a lot of damage, and Honey and Unable are going to have to back out. This not the best situation. They clean up Jackie Legs as he tries to make something happen.
Dangerous, actually. Jackie Legs played really nicely around the fact that everybody was backing off, that he just waited what happens on second instead of rushing some play himself. And it almost worked perfectly. Really close call there for Honey in the end. Unfortunate for Foreskings, but at least this just overextension by the Germans allows them to get back onto second and take lobby again as well.
Yeah, Foreskin again in a really good position to make something happen. It's all down to the picks they make. Lanza looking for an opportunity to go into drop down or at least spam out on clip. Fishkov getting cleaned up in lower just means they have got that little extra space. Warrior rotating to do so, but Vest gonna pop in, then onto Snow. Snow trying to deny. The Uber has come out onto Honey. War in a much better position, trying to pipe Snow from that distance. They're going to use this aggression. There's a couple of players actually trapped in, but Lanza in drop down denies everything, gets piped by War, but he did his job. He did exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, but at this point, with 5 minutes left, you need to ask yourself, how many risks are we taking as the defending team here to get out of last anymore?
They don't need to.
On second, yeah, exactly. On second, they can just go covering so many different things. They're still trying desperately to get some kills here. And so far, they're just jumping in once again really aggressively. I wonder if back again, what takes so much damage, and the Israelis still haven't given up yet. And slowly but surely, they just don't have the numbers anymore. Spawns come in, but it's just not enough anymore.
I think one thing I would like to say is War is incredibly aggressive, but he knows when to back out. Like, he knows when to be aggressive, but he also knows when to back out, which is really important. And Clip actually gets headshot as well as Chris by the sniper. They nearly get the pick onto someone else. Warrior gets domed as well. That sniper just putting in work right now and unable getting picked. This is what you mentioned before. The mistakes coming out of the Germans nearly cost them that round.
Yeah, it's getting closer and closer, and with the time ticking down, 2 rounds lead, you need like somewhere between a minute and a minute 30 to get like a realistically fast round, and the time is just taking away from Foreskings right now. So the later this goes into the game, the more the Germans can just sit here and do nothing.
Yeah, and Clip trying to deny. Jackie Legs getting picked up by War, just rotating that aggression, using those sticks just to spam people out. And Fishkop actually getting a nice angle on that left-hand side, again spamming Foreskins out. This is kind of the game plan, I think, for the Germans right now, is to get as much spam going in lobby as possible. They don't need to go out. Like we mentioned before, there's 3 minutes left, they're 2 rounds up, so it's all down really to not letting them make those mistakes to get picked off. And War, it's very atypical to see the demo hold right. It's usually a left hold is what we see, but Jackie Legs actually in on that spy, unable getting domed by the sniper. And we may see, yep, Jackie Legs has just decloaked. He's going to make a play onto Warrior. He's actually going to go with Honey. Honey turns at the right moment. Clip cleaning that up, protecting his med. And that would have been absolutely detrimental for the Germans' last hold if that pick actually went in. Again, now it's down to spamming, forcing people out. They haven't got that pick they wanted. And it's going to kind of result back into this hold, Dum.
And anything Foreskings does needs to happen immediately, and they follow suit with just that, popping in from left, trying to get some big snipers successful so far. Honey using as late as he can. In this position, the only thing he really needs to do is just get better Uber. Foreskings just rotate all the way around from the other side and see if they can manage something on the
Yeah, Lanza bombs in, does a lot of damage onto War. War is super low right now. Jackie Legs trying to use that aggression, but the sniper's completely trapped in, gets cleaned up by Clip, and they've lost 4 players to the Germans. Gonna have to back out, and we may see the Germans kind of roll out into second. They've got the advantage. It's nice and safe to do so with 1 minute 40 left. Even if they lose the round, I don't see them in any way you know, losing the game or getting a draw right now. As Fishkop makes a bomb onto Vest. Vest takes a lot of damage, gets cleaned up, but in response, both scouts pick up Fishkop and War respectively, and it's going to be a back out from the Germans. Honey getting chased, protection from Unable right now, but the 1v1 is nearly going in favor of Blockmeister. Both of them just decide to lick their wounds and back out.
Yeah, and this is just a prime example of what can go back if you don't have enough advantages going into Snake second from last. And unfortunately for the Germans, they did kill first, so they are not in the greatest of positions here for Foreskings to get the consolation prize of a 1-round difference. It will probably stay 3-1 unless somehow everybody in the German team just like leaves the server immediately.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the Germans are in a good position to make sure they win this, and they pick up one scout, they go for the second. They actually pick up Snow, which is a really good pick. Blockmeister going down as well. And that just means Verse going down to Unable. War picking up Jackie Legs. That's a full wipe for Foreskings. 30 seconds left. That's the final nail in the coffin. I know it's foul play, but to kind of call it, but congratulations to the German for winning the first map of this season 31 Prem Qualifier.
Yeah, and while we have time here, let's already take a mention, like you said before, to the maps that we're gonna see after this. If it comes to 3 maps, at least one more for sure, which is Foreskings' map pick. It is Prolance, now B6 with the faster cap time as well.
Okay,
Decider would be Granary.
Oh, Granary, what a decider. That's actually going to be, yeah, a good selection of maps for us to watch. First, Snakewater going to the Germans. This was obviously their map pick, like you mentioned before. Shall we see if we can find the logs and have a little chit chat about that?
Yeah, I don't know if we can show them on the screen at the moment again. Okay, we have some.
Prepare for ugly logs. Production's words, not mine. But
well, better than none, I guess.
Wait, the logs you just. Let me look at those logs again.
Yeah, I have them. Let's take a look. I just sort by damage first, as always. And you mentioned War played aggressive. Was very noticeable during the game, but it's very noticeable during the stats as well. With over 10k damage, should keep it actually really close second on Scout and Sniper, which is really interesting.
Wait, this is the wrong logs. It's 3-1, but this is definitely the wrong logs, because I don't remember seeing Avocado, Jimbot, Nevo.
Oh, that's probably, yeah, that was the sum they had before the Germans.
Yeah, let's.
I don't know what you have.
I'm gonna. Aha. Okay, sorry. Carry on. Carry on with your words.
Yeah, I was just like looking at the damage, which is the first thing I always do, and it's just always nice to see who had the most like pure damage impact. And People also provided a lot of kills there, so that's probably where most of that damage came from. As well as Sniper went 6-1 on Sniper, which is always quite impressive. How much damage and heals did War take in comparison? 300 damage per minute with 34% heals. That's actually really much.
Yeah, but I felt like War did a huge impact during that entire game.
They played like really demo-centric, like even more so than some other teams. Like the most notable example would probably be Elakur, but that was like even more than extreme than that.
It kind of reminds me of Epsilon War. It
I
does.
Guess. I mean, it makes sense. It is War, yeah.
Yeah, but it's
so
kind of
try to make the team play a similar way.
Yeah, but it's like Epsilon. I'll quickly just say this. Epsilon, like in past seasons when they had Numlocked as well, didn't they, on demo? Is they very much played the demo game. They played around their demo, and I can see Honey very much trying to play around War as much as possible, and I feel like it paid off. Like War was doing huge amounts of impact, but also Fishkoff as well. I just want to throw a mention out to him. Even though his logs don't necessarily say he did amazing when it comes to his KD ratio, he did a lot of impact just in raw damage and force plays and stuff like that, which you really need out of Aroma. So really well played from him.
8k damage on Roma is quite a bit. 275 DPM. This is quite impressive, and it's interesting to see that Foreskings actually put the most heals for once onto the demo man. It's really strange to see. Like the past season, we've seen games of them here and there. It's usually Jackilegs taking like all the heals. It looks like they swapped him to Roma at the moment and Lancer on Pocket by the looks of it. And even then, just usually Jackilegs takes like 30% heals, and now Lancer on Pocket only 24. Snow actually leading the charts there. So looks like they're trying to change things up for themselves.
And one thing I just want to also mention with damage is there is about a 400 damage difference between the two teams.
That's basically nothing.
It's nothing. With 92 to 87 kills, Foreskings with the 87 and 92 going to the Germans, and I feel like it kind of showed that I feel like the Germans had a much better mentality going into every fight, and especially their last pushes were a lot cleaner and a lot more concise, especially on Snakewater, than Foreskins. But coming into now the Foreskins map pick, how do you feel things are going to go? Because we're going to see, again, I think this is a wonderful map for demo, so I imagine we're going to see Snow and War put in a lot of work. But how do you think this one's going to go compared to the last map?
I'm expecting a lot of cheese just because it's P6 and people are still not getting used to it quickly enough to the fast cap time. So I'm expecting a lot of rounds to just end abruptly before anything actually happened. And I don't know, it is one of Foresking's favorite maps. Obviously they pick it, but they pick it a lot. I realized recently, both in Div 1 and in the Nations Cup, they picked it quite a bit. So they are fans of the map. I can kind of see it. It's a really stop and go map at times if you have an advantage or not. Just either really, really stalemate and tough to break, or you just carry an advantage forward all the way across the entire map. And that's the kind of team they are. Either they can play really aggressive if they have one small opportunity, or just really stalemate and they require should people to play sniper a lot, which we've seen a little bit on Snakewater.
I think that we're going to see either Jackie Legs or Fishkoff decide to whack out the pain train and definitely do a skip jump from main onto the last point and just cap it up as quickly as possible. I can imagine we're going to see a couple of attempts like that. But going into this, we're just about to start. For those who have just joined us, this is the Season 31 Prem qualifiers between, we like to call them the Germans, I can't pronounce their actual team name, and Foreskins. So we're taking away with this first mid. And right now, having a little look-see. So they've actually switched colours, which is going to be great for production. So we've got the Germans on blue and Foreskins on red. And Big Bomb coming out straight onto Warrior, taking a lot of damage, actually coming out of Jackie Legs. And now things are filling off. It's down to Clip to make the first play. Goes onto that Scout. That Scout taking a lot of damage. Jackie Legs getting cleaned up by Chris. Blockmeister Scribbly picking up Warrior and Chris respectively. Honey going down. Not without a couple of trains from the surviving members of the Germans. And right now, it's scrappy. Could be anyone's fight still. Even though they've got arguably the better players still up. First taking a lot of damage. Oh! What a shot from Fishkoff. Actually just cratering Verse. And that's going to result as a much longer... This is an awfully long team fight. Finally out. The Germans coming on top. Talk about that.
Jack Legs Blockmeister, I think, thought of committing down to the medic, but don't decide to in the end. Like you mentioned, really long team fight, and it was quite different in terms of how they approach it, just in terms of the Germans being that much more aggressive than the Foreskings side here. Jackie Legs again trying to force it with MP fight against Clip on heals, just takes him down. And the German aggression worked out in the beginning, but in the end, Honey lost his life, they lost the Demo Man. It became this really awkward stare down with the Israelis on the low ground, which is obviously the worst, and then while coming up, Fishkoff just hit this insane rocket to clean up the medic. And
we're actually going to get a right push coming out of the Germans, so they just cap it! What? That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, I can't control myself.
Well, I did call it.
Yeah, but I didn't expect the last push to be that quick.
Well, I mean, I think Clip and Chad summed it up pretty nicely with XD. So I think we can leave it at that and go straight into the next mid-fight.
Okay, we're on this next mid-fight, and Warrior, again in that window, just likes to spam from there. Could be anyone's game, just based around who's going to bomb in. We actually get Jackie Legs going in, but he gets cleaned up. Fishkoff, it actually gets a return, and a lot of players are getting forced into choke. They pick up Chris, but a lot of red players all in choke, well, just outside of choke now. It's going to be a mid for the Germans, and I think that was all down to just funneling the red team straight into that choke as soon as possible.
Yeah, worked quite nicely, and now they just need to have an answer to the stalemate. And yeah, I mentioned Badlands is really stop and go. Either you just roll out away like we just saw, or it's going to end with this quite a long time here, and it's a tough one to break for sure. So I'm interested to see how they approach this. Chris actually the first one to pick up the sniper rifle here, so not quite what I expected, but interested to see how it goes either way, as the soldiers try to spam aggressively in house, nothing really falls for it yet.
Yeah, headshot actually from Chris there, just ringing out, calling someone to have a bad time. But Chris, watching that, it's all about what pick he can make. I think that's the play the Germans are going to try and play off, but they could use Chris to try and bait right now, or just, you know, use Chris as the law and Clip cleaning up. The Clip spamming, Chris actually going for a hero shot, takes a lot of damage, gets forced out of choke, and we're back to this classic stalemate from mid to second.
Hey, like I mentioned, can be tough to break. You have the options of the soldiers jumping from both choke and from a valley, but you can be spotted so easily. And
Clip actually making a play, but actually Blockmeister dying to some spam from Fishkoff just means that it's not going to be a good opportunity for Foreskings to make that sack play onto them. Chris actually rotating into Z near resub. Now he's rotating back. Oh, riveting gameplay right now. It's just down to, you know, Chris making that pick, and it's going to slow everything down until he does it. And he's actually getting pressured by the Scout. Scout takes a direct hit and is going to have to back out. Lanza going in for a play, and we actually had Jackie Legs come behind. He gets Warrior. That's a really good pick. It doesn't really matter, you know, if he goes down or they lose that other soldier, because they're going to be able to go forward right now and just pressure it. Snow using it. They're actually going to force Honey to use burst in kind, using his Clip getting air shot, but he's going to stay nice and healthy because of that Uber flash. And there's a lot of German players backing out. Blockmeister actually getting picked up. Scout Squibbly trying to make a play on a Fishkoff, gets picked up, and all in all, mid taken, but Chris getting burst! Oh no, Lanza going for that play, but he's going to die to full damage from Chris's shots, and the Germans, Chris just going off on one dumb. Jesus, what went wrong? What went wrong for Foreskings there?
I wish I could tell you, but my connection has a few issues right now, so it's really hard to tell for me what is going on in the first place, unfortunately. So you gotta hang in well with me.
So much happened, my friend.
Yeah, I saw individual things like Jacklex jumps to get the kill onto a wall, which was really nice time with nobody paying attention to that for sure, but I didn't see the end of the fight, unfortunately, which sounded about it.
Yeah, Chris saved the day, but now he's just gonna die in choke to Lanza. And that's just going to create some opportunity for some spam to come out. Lanza trying to create some space, goes on to war, gets denied and chokes. So many red players all just taking spam. They get unable, but they're really low. Blockmeister gets the pack with the fight against Fishkoff, but he's going to go... Oh! Wait, when did that happen? Honey went down. Warrior gets cleaned up by Snow. Fishkoff going down as well. Verse still alive with Blockmeister, but he is going to be bullied by Chris. Clip now going for the play. That's so low, gets cleaned up. They clean up Blockmeister as well, and somehow Clip and Chris saves the day for the Germans, winning out that fight.
Yeah, looked like they got tired of these damages real quickly and decided to keep on fighting.
So scrappy though, incredibly scrappy.
I wouldn't expect any other way from Foreskings, to be honest. And I don't mean it in a bad way, because they just like taking fights.
Yeah, and Chris, oh my god, 4 players down. Honey getting picked up as well. Nice bombs, nice aggression from Foreskings. Fishkoff actually hiding in house in a really kind of sneaky place. Not anyone would be able to actually pick that up. And right now, just some spam onto them. They don't know Fishkoff is behind. They're focusing on him. He gets the first shot onto Versh. He gets the second, med down. Well played by Fishkoff, just waiting it out, and the aggression comes out from War and the rest of the Germans. Clip jumping across points, spamming people in house. Lanza taking a lot of damage. Chris on the chase, and they're going to bully them out of mid. They're going to take it, and I think we're going to see some aggression come out of them into choke them.
Yeah, without heals, there's no way to stop going now. They just need to play confidently, get the space before anybody can make any attempts to get the medic, which is exactly what happens. War stickies off shutter as well. and just take this before anybody can even dare to jump forward to get honey.
Yeah, and right now they're actually in lobby. They're looking to rotate into a position where they can go forward. War setting himself up in that lobby area as well. They're just checking for a spy play right now. We're just doing a bit of checking on all of the angles you usually expect a spy to hold. But they've got this UBR1. They're going to go in on this left-hand side. Blockmeister on the Pyro tries to deny. Gets cleaned up by Unable. They just need to get a player onto the point. Warrior denying it. Unable cleaning it up. And that's going to be the second round going to the Germans.
Yeah, pretty nicely played around what they expected to happen, which is just a single soldier blocking the point while the whole team on Foreskings tries to rotate through spawn once, and a single soldier just doesn't stay alive for long enough in the end there, and just they walk over him with the scout and the double cap the point before anybody can get back out of spawn.
Yep, and we're on this third mid, and Warrior's a little bit quicker than Snow, in a better position. Snow's trapped in the house, but the bomb comes in from Jackie Legs. He's just so far behind. He's coming back in for another play. Goes on to Fishkop, takes a lot of damage, but whilst that's happening, both scouts get cleaned up. Jackie getting cleaned up from Fishkop there, and they're just spammed so aggressively by the Germans. War in a quite scary position, nearly gets cleaned up by Lanza, but manages to survive. Clip peeks his head out for a bit too long, and clips it from existence. That was really bad, I'm sorry.
They are like really afraid of War, it seems. They put so much effort into killing War early on this mid-fight that just ended up getting 2 people killed instead, turning this fight instantly in the Germans' favor. Speaking of fight, they want to keep on going on Spire. Not enough people here to make it a good hold immediately for the Germans, and with the snipe from 2 people coming in to choke as well, denying a lot of space here, they just force the Germans back out before anything can happen. Really nice quick defense despite a loss of mid.
Yeah, the sniper just put in a nice bit of work, and he's looking for a new angle. I don't think anyone spotted him, so he's got a good opportunity. He picks up Chris. He's probably not going to get another peek as Clip's getting there just to stop him. Going to have a bit of a fight with him, taking a lot of damage. And whilst this is happening, an Uber exchange has actually happened between the two teams. Clip taking a lot of damage from Lanza. Snow being completely disconnected from his med, gets cleaned up, and that's going to be an opportunity for Warrior to make something happen, as he's just sticking off choke. Honey gets picked up by the sniper before Clip gets him. That's really bad. Warrior going down as well. Well played by Foreskings during this scrappy fight. Chris trying to make a play. Clip going in now onto Verse. Verse super low. Blockmeister with the save, but Fishkoff spamming onto Verse as well. Everyone's so low, but Fishkoff gets cleaned up, and that's going to be the mid taken by Foreskings.
Both teams seem to know what their win conditions are, but they just can't quite piece them together. Foreskings in this exchange just ever so slightly too aggressive, not the perfect flashing, losing the double win, which puts the confidence into the Germans to contest this. But they came in before Clip, like you mentioned, got the sniper, and that's just not working out perfectly in the end either. Getting picked up their honey and instantly turning a really great opportunity after the super exchange back around in Foreskings' favor.
Yeah, and this game has been so scrappy. It's very hard to cast just because so much is happening and so many weird little DM fights are being taken by Foreskings, which, like you say, it's where they like to play, but it's also just very hard to see any organisation out of them, and they're losing players because of their disorganisation, I feel.
Yeah, if they just ever so slightly play together more, it certainly could go just a bit better. Like I mentioned, all the lost in the mid-fight was 2 of 9 not working out, so they need a good one here.
And they actually went in left, and they managed to get the exchange with Honey, but I feel like the Germans are in a better position. Jackie Legs, Blockmeister, Lanza all going down really quickly in quick succession, and Unable going so far forward, picks up Snow on the Pyro, and only 2 players left for Foreskin just means that the Germans can go forward, pick up Spire, and maybe look onto a play into mid.
Yeah, really great move by Honey and Unable. They pretty much weren't technically forced in the sense that they were actually weak and needed to use Diva to survive, but they knew exactly. They're still close. We have the Pyro, let's press W, and if they are not out fast enough, it just works. War going down here early, Jack Legs and everybody else storming in. Jack Legs merely just distracting, jump onto Honey by Lancer. All the kills come in at the same time, but the jump behind from Fishkop, nobody saw it coming. The boss goes down.
That was wonderful play from Foreskin. We talk about them having organisation, and those bombs were just organised so well, and they're already in on last. They've got both their scouts. No one can deny that. Warrior tries, doesn't manage to do it.
Apparently, yeah. I don't know what that was about. He's playing Devil, man. If he was a scout, I would agree with the switch maybe, but on Devil, I don't know.
He's seen Spud play Pyro and wants in on the action. Okay, just don't judge War. All right, He's good. He's good. He's fine. But coming in on this fourth mid, it's really scrappy, these mids. So I'm really interested to see who's going to make the correct plays. Jackie Leg's doing a completely different bomb than before, doing a lot of damage onto Chris, but Clip's bombs a little bit more effective, but Jackie Legs actually finds him in choke, unable cleaning that up as well. Warrior getting pressured so low. Honey trying to go for that save onto him, and whilst this is happening, a lot of German players just spamming across the point, dealing damage, getting Lanza down, and Verse and Snow are going to have to back out, and the mid is going to be for the Germans once again, Dum.
Yeah, you want to see the correct play, but it also matters if you can actually pull that one off after you go for it. And I feel like what Foreskings was trying to do on paper worked really well starting off. They had Jacklix go behind, deal a lot of damage, force all the attention to himself, but they just couldn't do anything with ace they got.
Yeah, but the advantage on Honey has been used in lobby, and they're going to pick up Verse. Fishkov just doing the right focus, and now Snow's very far forward, going to get cleaned up by Warrior, but Jackie actually picking up Warrior as a response, and a lot of other blue players actually go down. Clip and Honey trying to escape. Honey surfing as much as he can, but the two shots from the scout ring true, and it's going to be Foreskings in advantage, in a good position to push forward onto mid. Respawners are back up. Honey 5 seconds in. Chris actually waiting on that sniper, just seeing if he can do something in choke.
Yeah, not much of an advantage for Verse, but they might just try to go for it at some point if they have a scout starting to build. Let's see if they do that. So far, they just try to lead this in just raw without any advantages, and it's not working out whatsoever.
Warrior just pounding people in choke, and that's just going to create an opportunity for Clip to come in, and he's going in, but he gets spammed so aggressively, but it just creates the space for Warrior and unable to go forward. Chris actually picking up Blockmeister, and right now they've got that positioning on Spire. They're going to cap that off, but Ubers are equal right now, so I think they're going to try and get Chris into a good angle. He's looking in main right now just to see if he can get a pick. He gets a headshot onto Jackie Legs, but that overheal is just going to mean that it's not really that much of an impact in damage wise. And Germans not even really in lobby, just staying in that lower area. Clip making the pain drain play
with the point right on his feet, not enough.
That's so close. That is so powerful on this version of Pro
Lance. I really hate how nobody is standing on the point right now. If
War just makes the play. He gets cleaned up. He gets cleaned up.
They just keep on throwing things in with that as well. They just want to overwhelm them, but it doesn't quite work out.
So scrappy, Dum. It's ridiculously scrappy. I don't know why they're just not seeing to pick up players, get that player advantage, and just push in. If they had a 1 or 2 player advantage in that situation, they would have done a lot better. And Lanza and Jackie Legs actually get picked up. Snow not in a good position, takes a lot of damage. He's quite low now, 31 health. If they picked him up, that would have been, I think that would have been all she wrote. But
yeah, that was strange as well, because he escaped with Verse together, but in the end they just kind of went different ways, leaving second. It was really sketchy there.
Yeah, and Clip again going for that play, but the sentry gun completely denies him. War cleaning it up now, and that was a good surprise position to have it. Fishkoff going down, but 2 for 1 right now when it comes to the pick advantages. Unable having a fight with a scout. Picks him up. Lanza are actually going to pick him up in response, and German's going to back out onto second. Jackie actually going in for a play. He's going in right now onto Warrior. He's super low, but all in all, bit of a scrappy play.
Unsuccessful there. Chris gets the headshot as well. I don't think it was even necessary health-wise. I think he was under 50. But even then, just like walks up there, gets the shot, and just kills the dream of getting the medic. And they were too weak anyway, but it just kind of rubs it in even further to continue on this awkward last fold here where Foreskings just can't leave the last point at the moment.
Yeah, and Warrior is actually on quickie, so I believe the strat... Oh, Snow goes down, that's absolutely perfect. Clip jumps in, jumps up to actually stop any damage coming out of that soldier. Really good play, and they cap it up.
Yeah,
that was really well played.
Just while you mentioned the quickies on the field, it became completely obsolete with Chris just hitting the sniper in the head and getting rid of all future stickies as well.
Yeah, Snow going down, I think, was, that was all she wrote. Like I mentioned earlier, getting that demo pick is so important. Getting that on last. Demos are so one of the key picks whenever you're pushing into Pro Lands last. And on this fifth mid, we're going to see Clip actually bombing in. Chris getting picked up by Scribbly and Lanza. Fishkoff actually going down, but 2 players down for the Germans. Clip making a play, gets versed. That's not too bad. They just need to protect Honey right now as he's getting chased by all of those red players. Just a sea of them. Blockmeister still healthy, trying to make the play, gets it just before War actually lands that pipe. War going down as well, and German's gonna probably even hold on to last right now. Actually no, Unable having a fight, wins the 1v1 in-house. Actually, my statement is completely incorrect because they're going to be holding on to that second, maybe even with a close hold.
Yeah, we'll see. We have slight add-on first, maybe. Actually, nobody's going back for him, so he takes a long time to actually start healing it. Even Uber in the end. And Scrappy mid-fight once more. Just really simple idea from Foreskings. Jump enemy train with everything they had. And while the jumps themselves didn't do much, the counter action from the Germans just didn't do anything in return either. They tried to just send single players into pretty much everybody onto the low ground in front of their train, and it just didn't do anything. Lost too early. Had really weak position. Despite getting the met in the end, they just had this awkward position where they could just get chased down so easily. And wins forcing the mid, awkward little exchange there well in the end. And right now, Jackie Leg and Lancer just want to take all the freedom they have. Can't be before Ubers are even out.
Huge amount of damage onto War. War goes very low. Honey with a nice arrow saving him. Actually, Clip cleaning up Jackie Legs, but Verse getting Clip in response. Oh, but they traded. That's so important for the Germans. Chris cleaning up Blockmeister. How do you say that scout's name? Because I feel like I say it incorrectly.
You mean Shulkeeper?
Shulkeeper.
Shulkeeper. I don't know. I say Shulkeeper because that's how I would like say it if it was an
I call
English
him like
word.
Shupali or something like that. I don't know. I'm always bad at names. But back to the game. Jackie Legs gets forced out. The Germans actually don't have to use Uber to get the mid, and it doesn't even look like they're going to need it for the second. So if they're able to get second right now, Jackie Legs actually dying to his own rocket, trying to jump away. And this means that I think War's going to want to take a lot of pressure right now forward. Looks like they may be going in on this right-hand side, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, they had a lot of confidence in these ad pushes so far, so why stop now? Just coming from right, play the point immediately, have Uber to just scare people away.
But the soldier's above, and he's just denied it so well. War's actually getting popped up, and it's not in a good position. Chris trying to make so many red players just jumping onto that point, but it means that Fishkoff can spam everyone down from above. Blockmeister super low, but in the end, only Honey remains. And Foreskings managed to keep hold of their last, using everything they could just to get onto that point.
Yeah, nice little adaptation with the soldier in the tube. Normally it's the demo man, but it's a little bit more risky as well in a few situations. So they opted for the soldier. Works just fine as well. Delays for long enough for everybody to have time to react this time around. And like I mentioned, sometimes all you need is something on a point, and in this case that certainly holds true.
Yeah, and Chris actually landing a really nice headshot. And Lanza ending up dying with a fight between Clip. Snow actually going down. Shupley actually going down as well. Dude, dumb. This is not good for Foreskings right now.
Yeah, they had this advantage as well. They just didn't want to use, and now they might just end up getting forced themselves. Honey doesn't quite have yet, so still scary for Germans, but they still have better pressure with the numbers.
Yeah, but Foreskins going to use that Uber onto Honey. Honey at 99%. He just gets it at the last second. They've got that Uber. Fishkoff actually standing. Yeah, Fishkoff was in such a good position to catch those players, but he just jumps over them. War very far forward. Manages to get the arrow. Unable going down to Blockmeister. Trade going in actually for the same player. Jackie Legs on top of the point, actually just dealing a lot of damage from above. Manages to surf, but gets cleared in the end. Warrior gets cleaned up though, and this is not good for the Germans. They're losing players left, right and centre. Clip trying to get onto Verse, actually gets it. Snow cleaning him up. Honey going down though, and with Fishkoff going down, that's a wipe for the Germans.
And they had such a great opportunity here, the Germans, with this like really smart backup from War to just draw everybody back directly after the Uber, but just nothing died early on. Everybody survived coming out of mid, and that's kind of was what they needed to have happen here. They just needed to have kills out of mid.
Yeah, Snow actually being a bit BM there and setting up a trap on that forward spawn, picking up Chris, actually dies as a result. And Germans going in, Fishkoff, actually that was Warrior made a play onto Verse. I actually thought that was Fishkoff, but never mind. Jackie Legs onto Honey. Honey's super low, he nearly gets out, but Jackie Legs connects it nicely. Clips getting picked up as well. We've got Scooply actually picking up Unable. Chris coming in, dying, Lanza going down, so many players, just the kill feed is popping off right now. And
this just needs to be around now. They cap up second, which takes time, so spawns will come in, at least the majority of them besides Chris, I would imagine. But even then, the UBR advantage is too big. There's barely enough time to build a sentry. Second is almost capped, and Fished goes down as well, so there's just 5 people now as well. Last, this needs to be around in any conceivable way.
Yeah, and Blockmeister actually going for a really nice play, and he's going to start stacking onto the point. The Putis comes out of unable, but it's not enough. And that's 3-2. With 7 minutes left, they can bring it back. Foreskings can bring this back as long as they have a good mid and they just start playing a bit more coherently. I just still feel like there's a bit of a lack of cohesion with Foreskings, to be honest.
Yeah, it picked up slightly though. These messy fights are now going their way more so than the Germans, which was a matter that happened before, so picked up there, but they need to just consistently be able to do that now.
And on this mid, we're going to see Jackie Legs again do the classic bomb he always does. It could be anyone's game just based on those soldiers, and Jackie Legs was in a good position to make some damage onto Honey, but Honey takes it. He's so low, he nearly gets picked up by a roller from Snow, but Blockmaster and Jackie Legs actually goes down. That's the third player, fourth player down for Foreskings, and it just means that another mid goes to the Germans down.
Full wipe in the end as well, and once again, their aggression is just not getting paid off. They, in so many of these mid fights, are just not having the focus fire to actually get the kills, despite dealing decent damage across the board. Just nothing will fall in the end, and they just all die trying to accomplish anything there.
And they've got a full Uber advantage. The sentry has gone up, but it's only a level 1, gets cleaned up rather quickly, and War just sticking off that point. They just need to create some space to make some time, and the stab play went in from Jackie, tried to get onto Honey, weren't able to do so. Warrior actually getting a nice pipe, Jackie super low. War in a good position to deal a lot of damage, gets cleaned up by the pistol shot from the big earner. No, it's not the big earner, it's something else, big something. Gun, he died.
Gun, yes, definitely, and bottom line is they just overestimated the cap time on second, or underestimated even, I should say, and just went in a little bit too early. They could have played the point if they had second really easily, but they just couldn't because second was still getting capped and it took so long. So they just had to like improvise all the time on last, and it just didn't work out in the end.
I think I've just found out that it's called the big gun. So I was kind of close. I don't play Spy, so I don't feel bad about that, but back to the game. Germans holding the mid with a little bit of an advantage, but nothing they can really use. So it's going to be an equal hold between the two teams. Don't see any snipers on either team right now. Blockmeister very far forward, takes a huge amount of damage. Lanza goes in.
Took so much damage.
Oh my god. That was so lucky for Fishcop with the rest of the team. They actually managed to pick him up on that scout, and
Chris just wraps all the way around, gets the boss so easily, all on his own. Nobody was watching it after Shulkipel went down, and now they have this really bad Uber on their hand, and Honey and War can just walk in there with their own Uber and just start farming if they just hit the shots.
War nearly getting that pipe onto Verse, actually. That looked like it was going to connect, but it was just a bit too low.
But 2 people went behind, Blockmeister and Jacklegs and the backlines. They might have been able to sneak a kill out. He pushed from front lines, comes in as well. The scouts, Lancer, Snow all back on the second point, and the Germans are kind of stuck between going back or going forward, and they just get completely minced in the middle. Honey, War the only survivors, and that won't last much longer either.
But sorry, I'm reading chat just roast me about calling it a big gun. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, my brain doesn't work when it comes to spies. But
big brain.
Big brain, spy main. Anyway, back to the game once again. Foreskings actually getting it mid and then on to second. Really good plays from them. Just, again, they're using a real, like, sack-in player method where they're just bombing in and cleaning up players. And they have got a huge advantage for their troubles. They look like they're going to come in on this left-hand side, or maybe even through main. They're just stacking up, waiting for the opportunity. The Pyro is actually out on Chris, and they're not able to connect anything. They need to find, you know, at least one good pick. They should be rotating, but instead they just go straight in. And yeah, the lack of scout means that Chris has a really easy time. The sentry gun actually ends up going down, but it's going to be a nice easy hold for the Germans. But scout makes a play. Fishkov nearly lets that go on too long, and the last player goes in, and that's 3 for 3 with 2 minutes 40 left. if
And that is the old
Foreskin
complacency. That's definitely just the old complacency from old Badlands, that they hold on to the last point after the initial UBR push and just were happy with that. But Foreskings just throws themselves at it again, much like they did earlier, and somehow they didn't expect it.
Yeah, this changes up the game so much. Just having that much quicker cap time makes it so hard. You can't take your eyes off the point for a second. And back on this mid, Jackie Legs makes a nice bomb onto War, gets cleaned up, but deals a huge amount of damage and actually forces the Germans to back out quite considerably. But now the repush is coming in. They picked up Blockmeister. Verse actually went down during that fight, and they're going to have to clean up all these players. Nice fight from War cleaning that up, and War wants to go aggressive.
Yeah, the Germans just played a numbers game here. You jump us with one player, we jump you with two, and Jackie Legs didn't get through the night to jump really early on to not take much damage at all, while Fish and Cliff just come in, farm the damage, get 2 kills of that, and allowed this repush with the heals to come in really easily, getting to second. And this one needs to stick now.
Jackie actually on that spy, he's going to decloak. God, he just looks straight at him, gives him a heal, and then realizes that's not one of my boys. And they have this full Uberad, and they're going to come in on this left-hand side, but Chris gets backstabbed. But I don't think that's going to make too much, because unless Jackie can start getting some decent frags, he's just a bit of a distraction. But German players tried to make a play onto point, get cleaned up by Snow and Lanza, Clip going down as well. But only Fishkoff left, going to get cleaned up, and that's going to be a hold from Foreskins.
That point play was so bad. I don't know what they were doing. They were just with 3 people standing there desperately trying to cap it in like 0.5 seconds. But there was the soldier, there was sticks, there was everything, and they still just flashed UBR of themselves and all died to it. They rushed this way too much. I mean, granted, there's a minute left, they need to make action fast, but there must be a better way than that.
And that was probably the weakest last push we've seen out of War. He actually dead on himself, which is not that great, but they've managed to convert this all the way to mid for Foreskins, and they've got that pressure to actually push forwards. That Uberad's going to give them a lot of space to work with.
Yeah, and they can't lose anymore. They can only go into Golden Cap at this point, so Foreskins just can't press W without even having to face any consequences now.
Yeah, it's only 15 seconds left, so we're going to maybe see a sack onto the point. But Fishkoff...
They have the Uber charge, Honey doesn't quite yet. That could be a big difference maker with as little time that's left.
Yeah, but we've actually got Chris trying to stop it, Unable actually going down as well. The play goes on from Honey using the Uber charge, and that's going to be onto that golden cap.
Yeah, really close heartbreaker, and I would believe they would have taken the fight here in the end, the Germans, for that matter, in the end anyway, just because Honey was just about to get his Uber, but it was a really close call there.
All I'm going to say about this golden cap is if I don't see everyone on Pain Train that can be, I'm going to be very disappointed. But can we look at the logs? Do we have time?
We might have. I don't know. It's hard to tell when people start the golden cap. They changed the config, I think.
I think we'll hold off until after.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Sounds
what
good to me.
What do you think, Beta? I gotta just look at them. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Do you wanna have you got them all up?
Yes.
Dumb. All right. Let's talk about this. Well, actually, let's let you talk about this.
DuMmTm did not have as great of a time here than they had on Snake, that's for sure. But I noticed like really early on as well, they'd like try to keep War like really busy on the mid fights, not just have him walk forward and throw sticks all over the place. And it's really noticeable. He had much less of an impact than before, still decent damage, but compared to other players on the server, it's a huge drop off compared to the first game. Same with Snow. And neither of these demos had too much fun. It was just mostly a matter of the soldiers making like huge jumps all the time. Whoever had control of the flank in these more stalemate situations on mid to second, like always got huge value out of them. There were so many messy fights where just a little bit of stuff happened to choke, and then the moment something died at the flank on Valley, they just like pressed W until they found success. Decent example would be Chris a few minutes ago. Like kind of awkwardly survived a scout walking forward on the flank, so he just went in himself. Nobody was stopping him whatsoever, and could just get the force while coming in from Valley all the way into the other side from choke again, really easily. And flank control mattered so much this game.
Yes.
That only took a second. Yes, okay.
Well, I got baited because I heard the countdown for the round starting, so I was gonna hype that up. But no, it was, I feel like War wasn't as much of an impact in all situations, but I feel like his last point pushes, apart from the last attempt, were really, really good. Like, he was just constantly creating the space that his team needed. And I feel like that's really, really important. But right now, we are going to be going into this golden cap of the Season 31 Prem qualifiers between Foreskings and what we like to call them is the Germans. I don't know how to say their name. Dumb, say it.
Wer das liest, ist doof.
Thank God you're German. Anyway, we're going to be going into this mid, and Warrior's a little bit quicker than Snow. But Snow, not taking too much damage, got a nice buff on him, and Jackie Legs, again, going for that distraction play, but he's going to go in onto War, he's going to clean him up, and that's going to be a really good first pick. Clip going down, Fishcop going down as well, not before Chris gets Verse, so if Honey can stay alive, this won't be too bad. He's all on his own, he has to go into resub, and that's going to be the mid of this golden cap, going to Foreskins, but at a uber disadvantage.
Yeah, and that's only the second one they won here as well on this map now, so, maybe it's the one that counts. With the bat going down, it's a whole lot more easy for the Germans to turn this back around. And it really looked like Foreskings tried to fix the mistake. They didn't overcommit anything, they just had a single jump, wrap around much safer by Jack Legs as well, instead of going just straight for the Demoman to get the safe, easy kill, while everybody else was just trying to survive. And it worked brilliantly, but with the first kill happening still, it's not that easy as it might seem, and the fight on Spire still continues. Chris going down, puts some hope in them. One scout less is just one thing less to deny your soldiers with, and it's just a really long drawn out fight here.
Warrior actually going really aggressive, using this Uber to try and pick up some players, but no one's actually going down. Actually, they lose Clip. Jackie Legs goes down, but that's quite not a really impactful pick. There's a lot of players. Warrior not in a good spot, unable going down. He's going to get spammed onto. He goes down as well, and they're going to have to back out the Germans. This could be an opportunity for the Foreskins to go forwards. They have got a huge Uber advantage now, getting that Uber out of Honey. And it's all about this last hold, but they're just going to stick their players onto the point. Unless they can stop this, I don't think they can, and that's going to be the golden cap going to Foreskins, and we're going to be going to the decider, Granary.
Yeah, that was a really nice round by Foreskings. On the mid, they realized their mistakes, didn't overcommit to anything, and on second here, it was just once again War's aggression coming out, and them just backing off quickly enough, not getting caught by it this time, having them have it Uber into absolutely nothing. And one long fight on second later, they eventually get it.
Yeah, and I feel like, especially with Granary, I feel like it's going to be very interesting to see how these teams play. They've got some very strong soldiers, especially when it comes to the mid fights. And as we've seen time and time again, Granary mids are very much decided by what the soldiers do. And I feel like if the soldiers make a good, impactful plays during this, it will help their team accordingly. We can go back to the logs if you wish.
Maybe we find something else interesting in the meantime. Yeah, sure. Let's see if there's something that's like really standing out and like kind of is important. I guess the first thing I see here going to the heal stats is that it's such night and day as well. Warren this time getting 11% less heals than last game, a little bit more to unable now, and Lancer more back to like the heavy pocket soldier role we are used to seeing from Foreskings with Jackie Legs instead, with 28 now, a little bit more and much less on Snow as well. So just a like significantly different approach in terms of heals for both teams. And I don't know how much that is necessarily just map dependent as well.
Yeah, I feel like, so just speaking about the players, Snow is quite... So if this is the Snow I know, I think he's like 12.
Yeah, Chad earlier was undecisive. I heard 15, I heard 14. So he's really young.
He's really young.
Either way, yeah, he's young.
I swear it was like a meme or something, because I played some D-mixes with Snow, and I know that he's a young player. And I think this is his first attempt into Prem.
It is his first game above mid, I believe, outside of, well, if you count the Nations Cup at least.
Yeah, so big leap for him. And
yeah, that's kind of like the nice thing with Foreskings as well. Like, Jackie Legs isn't afraid to just like have newer players test out, as long as they can like decently listen to what is like required from them. Yeah. And just always pick up new players from Israel.
Oh, I think it's been confirmed that oh yeah, we mentioned this earlier. Snow is actually merking, isn't he?
Yes.
So he's not usually in this division, but I guess because I believe they all come in their native tongue, which is Hebrew, I assume.
I wouldn't know. But yeah, it's a little bit weird because like I was confused at the beginning of Snake as well because Verse was a Devilman before, so Zangetsu not playing here instead, and Verse just going for Medic. So they swap around a little bit for this game, it seems, and have confidence in Snow. And so far, it's been pretty close, I would say.
Mm. It has. I feel like he's done a really good job. It's. I feel like, especially with the way that you mentioned, Jackie Legs likes to kind of run his teams. I feel like as long as they're able to keep, you know, a respectably tight leash on Snow and keep him under control and, you know, doing the plays they want him, he can make some impacts. We did see him do a couple of really nice plays. He did help out on quite a few of the defenses on last, and he did make some good impacts. I feel like his mids weren't that strong, personally, but I feel like maybe we may see something else out of him during this.
At the very least, it's a really great opportunity to learn, and the playstyle Foreskings is playing with the heavy heal pocket probably is better suited as well, just because, just imagine Devilman that previously only played mid before would be like thrown in the position was having on his team in comparison. That would be a much different story. So it just all works out really fortunately for him here, and so far they're still in this.
Yeah, and we're actually going to be going live for the Season 31 Prem Qualifier. Just for those who may have just joined us, it is the Germans versus, we like to call them Germans, it's whoever reads this is stupid, versus Foreskings. And right now, War's a little bit quicker than Snow, in a good position, keeping up on top of those crates. We see that quite a lot out of most demos, but it's all down to these soldier plays, and Clips makes the first attempt. Jackie Legs going in, gets cleaned up, but then again, Lanza tries to make a play as well. They pick up 2 players during this, and Snow actually going down, Blockmeister as well. I feel like Verse is very much going to get picked up, and that's going to be quite a convincing mid-fight as they clean up the scout for the Germans. Actually, the scout gets out.
Yeah, that was like a really different way, the way these soldiers approached it. Foreskings soldiers wanted to go straight on target, go in, get a kill, doesn't matter if I die for it, and the German soldiers did a lot more reserved, just kind of throwing themselves close to them, take position, try to spam damage instead, played a lot more safe, and there comes a jump by Jackie Legs wanting to redeem his team's mid-fight. Should keep it as well behind. They haven't spotted him after the mid-fight, and it is indeed enough to get the force out of Honey, which is really nice. No pressure on to last as much anymore. It's not much of an advantage to leave, but it's a lot more safer than it was before.
War wants to go in.
Keep on going with these
War
two players down.
wants to go in. War just wants to go in. He's on that left-hand side. He's already kind of cleared out that point. We're getting Fishkoff and Clip bumming across. They've actually picked up Snow and Verse, and they're going to put those players onto the point, and the Germans start off very confidently on this granary with their first round going to them.
That's something really important as well, recognizing the timing of these like late sacks there, because the jump, like we saw, was successful with 3 people coming in as well, but they lost 2 like way too late at that point, and they just had only 4 players on last, and it's a simple math, 4 versus 6, who's gonna win that?
Yeah, and we're coming into this second mid right now, Dum, and I feel like Snow has just watched his opponent and tried to copy it, and he's done a good job with it, doing a lot of damage onto War, just denying him a cross pack right now. And again, it's just down to who makes the first play, and Clip's going to be the first one to fall. Lanza gets Honey as well. Foreskins doing a lot of work. They pick up War. There's Fishcop. Only Unable and Chris left. Unable's still in. Actually just going to go straight onto Verse. He's got no one with him, and he manages to get cleaned up in the end. But Verse was in a really awkward situation there, but Foreskin taking the second mid.
Yeah, the aggression this time paid off. The scouts got a lot of damage, the soldiers got a lot more damage as well, and it just made all the difference. They had that much more freedom with these early kills, and now all the way to second already. But the Germans not giving up quite yet, despite the Eber situation, hoping to force the Eber as far back as they can, but nobody's taking the bait.
Yeah, and Clip actually goes down as that overextension, and Verse wants to coming on this right-hand side using that Uber. And oh, Lanza getting picked up by War's trap. and he gets dropped by his med. Bloodmeister pushing Chris out as he tries to defend on the Putis. Jackie making a lot of space for his team. Bloodmeister going across, gets cleaned up. Honey going down. So if they do get Verse out, which Verse is out, they can actually, if he can meet up with any of the respawns, which is Lanza, they could get a little bit of an advantage, at least to hold from mid to second, because I imagine the Germans are going to take this and start going into yard right now. But Lanza stopping them, actually holding them out with a nice sort of aggressive jump. This is what we see Foreskin like to do, Dum.
Ooh, Fish Cup from behind, normally check, drop down, gets the jump onto the medic, lots of damage onto Lancer as well.
Honey went down.
Honey died as well.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been absolutely amazing, but that Honey pick really changes things up, and there's a lot of scrappy frags going. War's actually all the way behind it, going through Lunchbox right now. Snow's super low, but they've got a player on point. They've put the second person so close, nearly takes that down, but Snow and Verse are just going to have to hold out. War manages to come back and join his team, and they don't manage to cap that last point.
That was way too close as well. War almost baited his entire team, trying to just delay second, but instead not helping on last. And it really was close to mattering a whole lot. They didn't even block the pointed time at the end anymore. Just Chris had this final shot to kill in time.
Blockmeister
from the flank. Nobody in position to hold that.
Oh, he beefs it. He doesn't manage to connect it. He had so much time to do so. Vishkop going down as well. But Germans in a good position to, again, go forward. I think that's really important for them, is just to keep them out of this last, because they need to just stay in second. Well, it's kind of second to last, but keeping this whole last area secured is really important. They can chill, run the time a little bit, you know, try and get that key frag and then push forward from there, because it's very hard to push that last without any sort of advantage.
Even with, like we just saw, that the UBR from Foreskings just like really didn't do anything after killing the initial player, and they just didn't find any damage anymore. So, with the little bit we've just seen in this crappy second interaction as well, Germans need to start getting more afraid about the flank as well here. They just let too much happen. Honey almost died just now as well again, after dying to it earlier, so they really need to start thinking about the flank some more.
Yeah, Lanza actually went a bit too aggressive, nearly got picked up. War's actually holding very far forward, just forcing them out from shutter. Blockmeister going down, but Snow getting a pipe in onto Warho, yeah, just takes him down. And Fishkoff having a fight with Jackie Legs, but the rest of Foreskins go in and the Ubers are exchanged. It's all about this post-Uber fight right now. Clip actually going through Z, maybe seeing if he can do something. Honey backing out with the rest of the scouts on that chariot, and Clip gonna get caught out, probably gonna go down. He does at the end, but not before taking down Jackie Legs. Unable going down as well, but War is back, able to stop people on this left shutter, but we may see a rotation. Exactly what they're going to do. They're going to rotate Foreskins on this left-hand side. Snow trapping off point. They've got the opportunity to do so, but Pipes coming out from War. He gets cleaned up in the end. There's a lot of time on the point. They're going to clean it up, and that's 1-1 between Foreskins and Germans.
Yeah, really nice Uber exchange on second by Foreskins, knowing exactly what they wanted to have happen there. Have the DuMmTm as an entry pick, basically, to get an even exchange, not like use way earlier. To have an even Uber there, and then immediately throw things behind to get some easy kills that way, and just secure the position. And people even later on as well just wanted to keep on fighting on second despite losing all the position and just getting baited in instead.
Yep, and coming in on this third mid, it looks like Warriors a little bit quicker once again, and Jackie's actually very far forward. He takes a lot of damage from Chris, but gets saved by his teammate, and Scribbly actually just goes across the point, picks up War, and that's quite a key pick, and they're backing out because of it. Fishkoff getting picked up, Chris in quite a bad position, but Clip making a play, actually gets a Verse. That's so important. Chris going down, but it doesn't really matter because they got that Verse pick. Honey's still alive, they got a full Uber advantage, even though Snow has trapped them out of yard, and there's a play onto second right now. Jackie taking a lot, Snow having to back out as well. But yeah, kind of an interesting mid-fight there, Dum.
Yeah, the theme of like Badlands keeps being true here. That is just like stopping Raw from like doing virtually anything. They just really don't want him to play the game right now, and it at least wins them the mids at the moment.
Yep, and Germans going forward once again through Garage. It's kind of a slow push. Jackie in a good position, just denies War, but War cleans him up, and they're gonna push forward really quite confidently actually.
Yeah, after the first player being in the Jackie Legs, Foreskings just don't want to lose anything else. They want to have a chance at holding second once the U is up here, because getting from mid to second is just taking a lot of time. There won't be an ad anymore, so losing anything more than one is just too much of a waste of players.
Honey nearly went down. Cleared stickies by War, just landed on Honey, 3 of them. If Snow deaded, he would have got a drop there, so very lucky for Honey that did not happen. And Clip just clearing those stickies again, trying to create an opportunity for the Germans to go in. Fishkop in Lunchbox had a bit of a fight with Jackie Legs, doesn't really want to take that much further, and is going to back out and get some heals from Honey.
Yeah, now we have the age-old question, what do you do here? There's things you can do, but majoritively it's not that safe in a lot of situations. You can like charge for your soldiers and you can try to get an exchange, but the enemy team is holding so far back, so you tend to have a worse Uber, and if you lose players, you just give them the opportunity to second as well. So it always seems like a lose-lose situation, but eventually you need to do something, and they just rotate to Lunchbox, and Amsterdam people did not expect that, it seems.
Yeah.
Really confident forward now, but just getting walked over by people on heals.
And I think that's really good, just rotating and getting those 2 picks, because it creates an opportunity to go into left, and Warrior wants to take it, even though it's equal Ubers. Jackie Legs denying across point. Uber's actually going to be forced out of verse first, and now Honey in response, they actually pick up a scout. A lot of players jumping around. Fishkop actually denying on pipe. Fishkop in a good position to just deal a lot of damage to verse, and the rest of the players, they're going to get packaged really nicely, going to get cleaned up, and that's going to be the second round going to the Germans. 2-1 right now is the score.
There was a nice little bit of interaction as well between Unable and War, just like playing the point really nicely, getting the sticks on the point. Unable goes on it, Snow walks forward trying to deny it with the sticks, but can't go too far because otherwise Unable is just gonna press W and kill him as scout, so they played the point really well there, those two.
Sorry, I just yawned then, it's getting very late. But on that note, mid-fight starts, Snow picking up Enable, big double bomb coming out of Lanza and Jackie Legs. Clip taking a lot of damage, it has to back out, and Fishkop getting picked up as well. Right now it's going to be Foreskins mid, so that was nice played by Foreskin. Just that double bomb I think kind of made it.
Yeah, once again, just these early kills, just denying any sort of position or aggression for the Germans here. They want to come in onto second as quickly as they can. Lots of damage being thrown away. Clip trades in the end. Chris gets another one on the flank. Draws people back with it as well. Which might just be what the Germans need here.
Yeah, getting that Snow pick is very important because War was going to use that aggression, but never mind. He actually gets picked up and now Honey's in a bad position.
From behind just walks forward and they completely ignored him for way too long. Gets 2 kills, gets the force as well. Honey still has to use here, but it's such a better Uber that they can just kill most of this in any way they can.
Yeah, and they get Verse as a response. Jackie Legs trying to make a play onto Honey, just gets denied, manages to pick up Chris, but gonna get cleaned up. Scouts, Snow backing out, and right now it's Germans on the front foot, so to speak, and pushing forwards, maybe going through garage. They have got the opportunity to do so. Actually, they're holding quite confidently in yard. They're going to get Jackie Legs back now, and War wants to take his team in through garage.
Yeah, and they're just waiting out for the Ubers, so that's why the Israelis are still being confident about the position on second. They didn't expect them to walk in off of just purely the fact that they have advantage. Uber counting enough is able to tell them that they don't have yet until now. So this is where things start getting sketchy. And Snow still wants to deny them, deals so much damage. Actually slows them down quite a bit, gets out safely as well. But it's only just a matter of time until they finally break through, rotate over to Lunchbox, and sooner or later this Uber will come in here.
Yeah, and they're actually going in on this left-hand side. They just used the Uber now, and Bess is just about to get his 20% left, and they're not able to aggress too much. They're getting denied by the scout as well. They're going to stack this point, but they get one frag. Jackie Legs actually stopping Chris fully. They're all on this left-hand side for Foreskins, and
Fishkop gets in with a jump, hits first, and the last rocket doesn't connect. I think she'll keep it body blocked one as well in the end.
I didn't even see that. That was well played by Fishkop. I didn't even see where he sneaked in from. But Lanza actually going in through low spot. Big air shot onto Clip. Trades, but you know, he got the air shot, so he wins, right? I guess that's how it works. But Foreskin's going to take that momentum, push forward, push them out. Chris actually in behind, having a bit of a fight in Lunchbox with Jackie Legs. But Foreskings got yard right now. Warrior setting up his traps in garage, doesn't want to let them come through. Chris wasting a lot of time, and I think that's really important for his team right now. Fishkop taking a lot of damage on choke, and there's going to be a rotation out of the Germans as they're going to try and hold this.
Yeah, and once again back to the drawing board here with the stalemate. Let's see who will make the first move. So far Chris is down, so obviously Foreskings feel like they are the ones needing to do something here. So they try through choke, just walk in, throw people in with brute force, but it's not working out too well. Should keep lucky to survive that. They didn't see him in the corner quickly enough.
They got
so
mulched.
brute force approach not working out too well here for Foreskings.
No, they got absolutely mulched. And Fishkov actually making a play.
Oh, great rocket.
Good rocket. Gets that frag, and it just creates another opportunity for the Germans to go in. And they're going to go in using Chris on the Uber. Uber's exchanged, but they're going to try and pick up players. A lot of flashing on Verse, whilst none really for Honey. They're going to lose that Uber a lot quicker. And Warrior and Unable try to help out. Clip actually picking up Jackie Legs, and they're going to back out, but they didn't do too bad during that exchange, the Germans. And Foreskins wants to try and pick up the players. They actually pick up War, so that's a good pick from them. Clip picking up Snow in response, and they're going to have to back out through choke, and everything's kind of going to fizzle out for a moment right now, Dum.
I don't know, this really didn't do them any favors whatsoever, I feel like. Anyway, let's talk about that while after this fight here, because Germans still haven't given up hope yet. Verse has significant advantage here, so they can't afford to stay here for too much longer, and eventually they lose to have to leave. And also, what I was about to say with the exchanges, they didn't seem like they had a goal. They went in, got the actual exchange started, forced the enemy medic, but after that they just kind of left, and nobody else entered the second point at any time on the team. So just nothing happened, and War gets the kill onto Verse with the sticky trap. Nobody checked for the medic.
You got to check for your medic, but right after that, Honey drops 2 players. I don't know if he had an Uber at the time, but he drops War. Unable goes down as well, but they pick up Blockmeister and Jackie Legs. But Honey's going to have to back out, rotate into a position with his team, because we're probably going to see a bit of aggression out of Foreskin once they get their players back. I didn't realise how far back Verse and Lanza actually were. And Chris goes forward. Snow taking a lot of damage, gets picked up by Fishcop. This creates an opportunity once again for the Germans to go in. Taking that demo down is going to be so impactful, and they're coming in through choke. War needs to create that space for his team because they're going to take a lot of damage. Fishcop coming through from garage in a position to jump. War just super aggressive right now, and they push them out nice and cleanly, Dum.
Yeah, there was no other reason for them not to go in here. They had player 2 down and was just spawning, but he still wasn't with the team, so they really just needed to play the numbers that they did in the end without any advantage. That was as much of an opportunity they can hope for at the moment here, and now with the Evo arising, that's exactly what they wanted to avoid. Now it's Foreskings on second being stuck here, and on the lead as well for the blue team, for the Germans. It's such a much more comfortable position now.
Yeah, they are in a really good position right now, just score-wise. And I feel like War really wants to actually be quite aggressive, dealing a lot of spam in garage, but Lanza going forward. We may see a play out of him as he saw the opportunity, but there was none to really take because he really didn't get spotted until the last second. And a lot of spam, a lot of sort of stalemate situation. No off classes really on this. Apart from last, we haven't seen that many off classes from either team. Big aggression from Clip, getting Blockmeister super low. Bit of a rotate with Honey healing up Fishkop. Fishkop going for the play, he gets instantly denied. Double bomb coming out of Lanza and Jackie Legs, picking up Fishkop. And now may see a bit of a sack coming out from Foreskins, as that's kind of what they can do. But War just on choke, denying Jackie Legs from coming in. But no, Lanza not taking that opportunity to go into another space really, and Jackie does go in, gets instantly cleaned up. Bogmeister as well, that's 2 down. Scribbly actually nearly goes down as well. Germans in a position to move forward, and that's exactly what they're going to do. I just want to see a bit more frags from them, maybe barrel it to last, but you know, Foreskins playing it smart, staying back, not trying to force the Uber. They just don't want to risk losing any other players right now, but they're going to hold in and maybe exchange on this last. A lot of damage coming out. Chris going down, but the spam from the Germans actually does get the force in the end. Honey has to use, nearly drops a player, but doesn't end up doing so. Clip going very far forward onto Verse. Nice shot from Clip, picking up Verse. And
Jackie Legs in the backlines just comes in now, can deal so much damage to everybody on the point. drops both players in front of Honey's eyes, and he will just follow suit after as well.
Yeah, they managed to get that kind of completely nullifies that clip play, and everything fell apart for the Germans.
They just had such a better exchange, but they just had nobody left on the flank afterwards, and Jackleg just takes advantage of it beautifully, just walks in from behind, gets everything, people getting Chrissy on mid as well, which just puts potential stop to German's aggression. They still want to go in here regardless with 5, try to make the best of it, but they're getting completely destroyed by everybody. So just jumping in onto the pack and just farming the damage.
Yeah, and
that gets caught in the crossfire.
Oh my god, so scrappy, so much is happening. It's going to be a full wipe for the Germans. My brain was just frying during that whole situation. I feel like, again, we got Foreskings constantly trying to play that scrappy fight DM playstyle. The Germans trying their best not to allow it. Chris actually going behind, just going to get caught by that trap. But War in on second, denying once again. And we're going to see a bit of an equal situation, but Jackie Legs tries to make a play onto Fishcop, and there's a big rotation actually coming out of Foreskings onto Lunchbox, maybe looking for an opportunity to go in. And yeah, things are kind of slowing down right now. Everything's kind of chill. They're just seeing if they can spam players out. War in Z dealing a lot of damage. Jackie Legs goes in for Honey, but gets completely denied by Clip and Chris. And again, back to the stalemate, Dum.
Yeah, this might just be beneficial for the Germans. You mentioned just before how the messy situations aren't favoring them, and just now as they went for one themselves on mid, it just went like completely off the walls. So they just need to stabilize right now. I think get back into like control and make plays that make sense instead of just trying to make plays for the sake of it. And I feel like this stalemate, this drawing is by default in them as well, might just help them get back into the right mindset.
Yeah, and Chris picking up a scout, actually having a 1v1 with Blockmeister as well, and not able to really get any other frags. But Lanza actually ends up going down to unable. But there's an absolute wraparound between the two teams. Now Honey uses his Uber, tries to go in on Verse. Verse is going to use, but really not a good position for Honey and the rest of his team. War just decides to get the hell out of dodge. Honey goes down. War is going to come back now and see if he can pick up some players, but Blockmeister is on him. They're just going to walk into last right now. That's all they need to do. There's no blue players holding up on last. Chris trying to deny, but the player's on the point, and that's going to be 2 for 2.
Yeah, if you rotate like this with your entire team through Lunchbox to push from the right side, you just can't not have something on the shutter door to deny people. It's just so easy to get back up. Not even necessarily by the whole team. Even just a single player can be enough. The whole team just makes the cap time a little bit faster, I guess. But in this case, nothing was stopping them, and they just had easy time wrapping around, getting Honey to have a really, really bad Uber exchange.
Yep, and back onto mid for the 5th. Mid War a lot quicker than Snow. Snow taking a huge amount of damage. We see Jackie Legs with a big bomb onto Fishcop. Gets him super low, gets cleaned up, but Fishcop dies to full damage. But War dealing a lot of damage across point. Snow very far forward. Clip trying to make a play onto him, not able to do so. Could be anyone's mid right now, because they just haven't really got any key picks. Just Aroma versus Aroma. Clip actually going down. Chris, Foreskin in a good position. War here actually picking up Blockmeister. We've got Lanza in another place where he can just cause some damage, but he doesn't manage to connect the rockets, and unable, denying him from on top. Once a scout gets on top of that, it's very hard for a soldier to do anything. And the drop from Warrior onto Verse. Snow going down as well. Big pipes out of War. The Uber has been forced, so it's not really perfect for the Germans, and they're gonna have to back out.
And Snow, unintentionally or not, just baited his entire team. He wanted to go for a huge wraparound through second back behind the choke, delay them from getting out, maybe even just completely eat them up in choke, but he just couldn't do anything there anymore and just decided to get ammo, get some spawn kills instead, and left his team back into an even numbers fight that he eventually lost, like we saw.
Yeah, they're going to go on the 2-player ad on the right-hand side. Clip taking up Pipe. We've got Warrior again just dealing a lot of damage. Jackie Legs coming in, gets piped in War, and they've got time on the point. They just need to keep this going. Nice frags going for the Germans, and they do manage to get it. That was a really good push.
Yeah, just
really good.
Quick conversion, seeing the targets they need much better than the standard last pushes we had out of Foreskings so far into last.
Yeah, and on this 6th mid, I feel like the Germans just need to, you know, either get another point lead or get a bit of slowness in their play. I know it's not the funnest to watch, but having that little bit of time wasting is very useful, especially on a map like Granary, because it's hard to come back. Fishcop going in for that bomb, actually gets Snow with clip. Good sync from their damage. And that's a really good pick for them. Jackie Legs in behind, trying to make onto Honey.
Honey's all this bad.
Shot from Jackie Legs. Burst going down, so it's med for med. Only Blockmeister and Lanza left. Lanza getting picked up Blockmeister, and that's going to be the Germans winning by the skin of their teeth.
Honey got so unlucky, he just strafed into every single rocket there.
Yeah, no, it was very unfortunate. Jackie, I gotta say, Jackie Legs was in such a good position. Really good play from him.
Well, we see Kritsky coming out of Honey, so using this unfortunate moment to make the best of it, get advantage on his hands.
Are we going to be seeing a Warrior crits?
I'm conflicted if I want to see that or not, to be honest.
I want to see it. You know, War has been trying his heart out in this game. It genuinely feels that way, and Snow actually gets picked up by him. But Chris and Enable get picked up by the 2 scouts. And Huddy going down, never mind. Everything's just falling apart for the Germans. They're going to have to back out into mid, probably into second. Fishkov trying to delay. We may see a bomb out of him. Lanza just going to try and clean him up. He tries to go onto Verse, but Verse just holding back, not risking it at all. And the players of Foreskin are going to get their mid.
Yeah, that was really smart by Verse to just delay his entry into mid for as long as, because in like every other situation he would have died to the solo jumping there.
Yeah.
So yeah, no crits today it seems.
And I feel
they
like
just got completely overwhelmed by people not being as far back on second as they wanted them to.
And I feel like War made a very bad decision by being that far forward, and he ends up going down. He's going to be back in 10 seconds, so hopefully they can make something happen. First has got his Uber, but Chris gets the shot onto the scout, so that's going to slow things down, I believe. And Uber is 95% for Honey. Honey takes a lot of damage. Chris on the Putis cleans up Snow and Jackie Legs. Ubers have been exchanged. Clip going in onto Verse. Verse is completely trapped in. War cleaning him up. And Germans once again moving forwards, taking second. You know, they've done pretty well on their last holds, all in all.
Yeah, it's just Foreskings Supers aren't doing like really much at all on these last pushes as well. They come in here with a small opportunity, but they weren't fast enough. First misses the flash as well, drops the player, and even less to protect him on the way out. Got juggled really nicely there as well. So it's like a little bit of both. Foreskings messing up, and the Germans doing everything right there as well, just denying them beautifully with the damage.
Yep, and Jackie very far forward, actually on Haunter, or you know that patio area, whatever it is, and that kind of slowed down a lot of the players. But Sniper takes down Chris, and may be able to get a little bit of a decent angle. He's looking for something in Garage. He's going very far forward, actually on top of that barrel. Seeing if he could get a pick onto War, that would be very crucial. But he's gonna have to back out. And once again, back into this stalemate, Dum.
Yeah, it's again just a matter of time here, and with 3 minutes left, again, like on Snakewater, more and more of how much Foreskings want to do something here. More so than the Germans.
Yeah, and Clip actually goes in, gets the force onto Verse. That's so important. Chris actually... Oh, I thought that was a crit, but that was just an escape plan frag. And the Uber goes in, but Honey accidentally drops War, but I don't think it matters. They may be able to get some players on this. Snow is trapped in, gets cleaned up by Fishcop. So demo for demo, not too bad. And the Germans are very aggressive on that Sniper in Garage. Honey doesn't really want to peek him, though. He's not in a good spot. And
when they know about the Jackie Legs wants to get the clean up, Honey just backing out fast enough, and everybody coming to the door quickly enough to prevent further chases. Snowlancer still being down is a huge setback as well. Otherwise they probably would have just committed to that, but they lost too much on mid to actually commit to that. So Honey getting quite lucky there after everybody just abandoned him.
Yeah, but back into again the classic Granary mid to second hold. And it's all about really how either team are going to break it. I don't feel like the Germans are really wanting to hold things. I think they want to get a surefire advantage. They just need to hold this off. But Jackie Legs and the rest of his team decide to use their Uber. 95, 100% finally on Honey. They do use their Uber in response. They do pick up the sniper. And they're going to try and pick up other players. Clip actually going down. The Uber's a bit of a waste, but Burst takes a huge amount of damage from Warrior. They're going to get bullied out. Lanza in the background. I don't know if they know he's there. He may make a play onto it. He has been called, but Jackie Legs used this opportunity to also go onto Honey. Honey taking a lot of damage. Jackie Legs gets that pick. And Abel cleaning him up. Warrior going down as well. And, you know, Foreskings not in a bad position right now when it comes to, you know, player advantage. Snow piping it onto Chris. Big bomb coming out of Clip, but not really connecting on Burst too much. Fishcop, only one left, and I believe that was pretty well played by Foreskings.
Yeah, I feel like they should have done that in the first place on the Uber. With the Uber, they had this tiny advantage, seeing as Honey didn't heal for a little bit while being abandoned on Garage, and they must have realized that he didn't heal anymore. They did see him there, so they still came in off the Uber advantage, but they didn't really do anything with it. They were really, really far back all the time with it. And sticky trap in the corner. Oh! Gets the dead onto Verse. Nobody checked it once again.
I was about to say this is all or nothing for Foreskings with 40 seconds left, but I think that's the nail in the coffin. Now it's all down to how the Germans hold this, you know, panicked attempt coming out of Foreskings right now, because they need to make something happen. Jackie Legs getting picked up by Chris's sniper, and I feel like the Germans have this. They have this. They've got Lanza as well. Only 4 players left. Scribbly actually, you know, not in a good position when it comes to his health. And Fishcop picking him up in the end. Blockmeister trying to make a play in. 6 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the Germans have won this Prem qualifier. Congratulations to them.
Well,
really well played.
The first game.
Well, the first
we
game.
haven't really talked about like the format yet at all.
We didn't have time.
Yeah, exactly.
They wanted to play.
But it's the first round of like a 4-team double elimination bracket. So Foreskings have gotten the one loss they can have here, basically. And they can only make it if they win 2 more games here.
Yeah, but that was a lot of fun to cast. I enjoyed that gunnery a lot.
Interesting game.
Yeah,
for sure. And in the end, it all comes down to one single sticky trap, and I guess a few snaps as well to just kill like a little bit of hope that was left. But mostly the sticky trap.
Shall we have a look at the logs?
Sure. Let's see what we got here.
Beta, do we have logs on stream? Can we just talk about the fact that we have 10k damage on our boy Warrior?
And again, 10k damage on
Jackie
player as well. Jackie Legs just immediately behind with like 80 damage short or something, 2 DPM less, which is more the Jackie Legs I remember from past logs. And still on Roma, not even taking like all the heals himself again. Sure, it's a Roma with 19% heals, which is still quite a bit. Both scouts falling quite short down Foreskings, but you know, that much damage as a Roma is still pretty good either way. Same with the Fish Corp, to be honest. So just like soldier game all around here.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, Snow had a really rough time during quite a lot of that, especially with the pressure that War was applying to Foreskings. Like, there was a lot of moments where that aggression was just too much for them to handle, and other points where they did what they do best, which is they send in their soldiers. They really like to play off Lanza and Jackie Legs, and I feel like, yeah, we mentioned his damage, but Jackie Legs was everywhere. He was just wherever there was an opportunity for him to be somewhere, he was there, and it was quite impressive to see all in all.
Yeah, and just really great performances all around here, and convincing, well, maybe not convincing, but still solid win for the Germans in the end, having at least a decent difference in kills and damage, even if not by rounds. So, you know, it was quite quick when it mattered. Of the mid-wins they did get, they got really fast rounds. The conversion rate was really good on the Germans. They just struggled actually getting to last in the first place, which was the main problem, which is the opposite for Foreskings, who got there a few times, but it always took quite long to actually get anything going. And it never was like a proper Uber advantage push into last that won them the round in the end.
Yeah, I feel like that was a really good series. It was extremely close between the two teams.
Yeah, and we'll see more of them as well going forward. I'm just gonna check out the bracket real quickly.
Ooh. I've just had a whisper in my ear. We have an interview with Jackie Leg, so we'll bring him in a moment. Is there anything you want to glean from the logs, just quickly, Dom?
No, not really.
Okay. Shall we bring him in?
Sure.
Bring him in, Beta. Welcome. We have Jackie Legs with us. How you doing, Jackie Legs?
Yo, what up?
How are you feeling coming out of that? I know it was a loss for you guys, but I feel like it was a really, really close series.
Yes, it was a very good game, well played by the other team. Really happy of how we played, and especially playing with like two different like players. I think it's good. It's good. I'm happy with this. Yeah.
Yeah, no. But kind of going into that, so you had I kind of want to address the elephant in the room with Snow. Now, Snow's not seen, Prem play before or many high div play before. Like, how did you feel like working with him? Because I understand that is it you guys all common Hebrew whilst playing? Is that correct?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. So obviously him being Israeli was surefire pick. How do you feel like he performed all in all?
I think he performed kind of I think admirably for his first time playing in this kind of a division. I didn't expect much of him. It was kind of a last minute thing. I asked him yesterday if he could play, and he said, yeah, sure. Maybe the pressure got to him. I don't know. We told him not to feel any pressure because this is just like a game that we're just going to try to win if we can. We're not coming in with like high expectations. Sure, we played well, but I'm just glad that we gave him a close match. Like, these guys play Prem. They all practice. It's pretty admirably the way he played, even though he didn't do so well the last map. I think he did pretty well during Badlands and Snakewater overall.
Yeah, no, I honestly think he did. It's a terrifying concept to play at this level, especially when I think his experience is mid. Is that correct?
I have no idea, actually. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I think it's mid. So, like, having that step up and being able to step up to the plate, like, he wasn't like we I just want to address he wasn't doing bad in all at all. But no, I just wanted to know because it's kind of interesting. Some people would be kind of confused at that pick, but I feel like it was a good pick from yourselves. But I just want to kind of talk about Granary because I found that you were just everywhere. Like, what was the thought process with the team? You kind of just constantly were aiming to get behind, from what I can see, and it was quite a pleasure to see, all in all.
We did a lot of like anti-stratting to them because they came in with like really aggressive mentality. That when I knew that when they saw that we had a pick, they would want to push us. So I just constantly called. I'm the main caller, so I constantly called, told them push behind them, go behind them, try doing things behind, or we tried being aggressive as much as we can, because if we play passive, we lose the game, we lose control, and they're feeling at home, and we just tried our best to counter them as much as we can, and yeah.
Have you got any questions at all, Dom?
Yeah, you guys have still 2 more games to go on this qualifier against Nunya, and
hopefully.
I think first off, Yak's team.
So, first off, Yak's team, yeah.
Yeah, any experience with them as players, as a team, like any opinions? How do you think you will do here?
I think they have a really strong team. Every team here in the qualifier are really strong, especially Nunya. I think they got like a bunch of Prem players just playing a Prem qualifier. But even like what's the other name? 2 foreigners up front, I think. Those guys they're pretty good as well, and I expect to have a great game against them. Yeah.
Yeah. But so coming into this, so you guys played Div 1 before, is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. So kind of making the stretch to Prem, kind of want you to level with me. What do you feel are your chances? Do you feel, because it's quite a stacked season, there's quite a lot of very interesting teams going around. Do you feel like you're ready to roll with the big boys, or do you feel like this might be a bit too far of a stretch?
I think we can put up a fight against any team, honestly. Like, if we're on our good day and we have a roster completely with the right players, with the right strats, and we review demo beforehand, or we scrimmed even, we don't even play that much, and yet we play so well against these teams that play every day and players that play every day. You understand? So, in my opinion, my goal was to reach Prem and to just play, And if we were in Prem, well, actually, I'm gonna reveal it. Like the goal is basically to get my team to Copenhagen, and us playing Prem would actually boost us as a way to, you know, propel, like kind of like support for us to go into Copenhagen. Even if we finish last in Prem, we still play Prem. We still are at the top. So that was my goal basically.
I think that's very admirable, all in all, to be honest. Like, yeah, speaking of Copenhagen, that's going to be a really fun land, and I do hope we see you, all in all. But from that, I haven't really got any more questions. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Dum, have you got anything else you want to pry this man's brain about?
No, I think we had a really good talk here, and I'm looking forward to the next few games. You hyped us up here pretty nicely and with a lot of confidence into the next few games, so I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you, boys. Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Now, it's customary that we offer you a shout out. Have you got any shout outs you want to go for?
Yes. Shout out to my team, my whole team. Shout out to Snow, even though he didn't play a lot. Obviously, a lot of pressure on him and a lot of eyes on him. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You'll get used to it. He's just like 16. It's cool. Don't worry about it. He's gonna grow up. He's gonna play a lot.
I thought he was 12.
Close enough. Close enough. Yeah. In our eyes, he's 12 as well. Shout out to Zangetsu for not being able to play tonight. He got caught up in work. Kind of a tough schedule for him. And shout out to you guys for casting, and to the viewers watching. You know, we tried our best. Hopefully on Thursday we're gonna play Yak's team. Hopefully, and give our best.
Oh, wonderful. Dum, have you got any shout outs at all?
Just shout outs as always to German internet for being awful.
Awesome. Is that it? Just German internet?
Yes.
Well, I want to shout out both teams for a fantastic display of Team Fortress 2. I want to shout out Beta for getting the shots and being our cameraman for the day. Shout out to yourself, Dum, as my co-caster. And shout out to everyone who watched. You know, typing in chat, being a part of this community is wonderful. I can't wait for next season, and I think we should hit the ground running and have as much fun as possible. So all in all, that was the ETF2L Season 31 pre-season qualifiers for the Premiership Division. Foreskin versus the Germans. Germans winning 2 maps to 1. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.